Welcome everyone to another video. We are finally at the end of this unit 1, and today we'll be doing exercise 1J. Thank God I am done with this unit. But let's go ahead and start. And before we start, I like to say something. I have learned a new thing. I've learned that 1 plus in a binomial expansion. You know how I was going on about like the combination thing and whatnot? Well, we had like basically this whole shenanigan. Well, you get the idea. I have learned that whenever it is 1 plus something, we can write that as 1 plus n times u plus n minus 1 divided by 2 u squared plus n minus 1 n minus 2 divided by 6. Well, get that out of there. U cubed and so on. Yeah, I did not know about that, and I spent a good ordeal writing all these combinations down whenever I had a 1 plus something, when I could have just done this shortcut. So let's go ahead and start on 1a. Okay, 1a is asking us, let me zoom in, to find the following, expand the following up to the term x cubed, given that the absolute value of x is less than 1/2. Okay, so first we have 1 divided by 1 plus x. This is just going to be equal to 1 plus x to the negative power, and now we have our little thing from earlier, which means that we can start writing this as 1 plus n times u. In this case, u is x and our n is -1, so we have -1 x plus n, which is -1, times n minus 1, which is going to be -2, over 2 factorial. Oh, that's where this 6, I should have said that. That's 3 factorial, so it just goes from 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, so on. Plus, oh, whoa, I forgot to add the x squared on there. X squared. Did I do that right? Yep. Plus -1 times -2 times -3 divided by 3 factorial x cubed dot dot dot. It's just asking us to find the first 3 terms, and well, the first this is technically the first 4 terms, but first or up to x cubed, and after you do some simplification, you should get 1 minus x plus, those 2's cancels out, x squared, those 3's cancels out. Well, the 3 on the bottom, this is 3 times 2, so the 3 and the 2 cancel out on top, giving us a minus x cubed, and that is our answer. Right, on to 1b. For 1b, we have 1 divided by 1 minus 2x, but that's in parentheses, squared. But since it's a 1 on top, you can just write that as 1 minus 2x to the -2. And we use what we had earlier. You know that this is going to be equal to 1 plus, and then n times u, right? Yep, n times u, -2, -2x, plus -2, -3, which is just n and then n minus 1 over 2 factorial, -2x squared, and for x to the 3 term, we'll have -2 times -2 minus 1, and -2 minus 1 minus 1 over 3 factorial, which is just going to be equal to -2x cubed. I wish I had known this earlier in the other videos. I don't know why I never used that. I just ended up using combinations all the time, but finally figured this out. Okay, and this simplifies to 1 plus 4x plus 12x squared plus 32 x cubed dot dot dot. That's our answer. 1C. Where's 1C? Alright, so this time we have 2 divided by 1 plus 2x. Okay. Here we're just gonna end up using what we had from part B. We know that this is going to be equal to 1 plus 2x to the negative 1, but remember there's a 2 on the outside, so we put our 2 right there. Oh, we can't use part B. Never mind. Part B is a minus 2x. Okay, in that case, we'll just write everything out again. So we'll have 2, 1, plus negative 1, 2x, plus negative 1, negative 2, 2 factorial, 2x squared, plus negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 over 3 factorial, 2x cubed, which is then going to be equal to 2. 1 minus 2x plus 4x squared minus 8x cubed, which is just going to be equal to 2 minus 4x plus 8x squared minus 19. Minus 16 x cubed. That is our answer. And remember, each time we do this little shenanigan, it's just stemming from our little definition all the way from earlier. You know, I notice whenever I write, I tend to go down at like a slope. It's constant, which is a bit concerning, but it's fine. Try my best to avoid that. Alright, 1D. We're going to have 2 divided by 1 minus x cubed, is that? It is cubed. Cubed. And remember, this is just going to be 2 times 1 minus x to the negative 3. And now let's set up our little binomial thing. We'll take the 2 out from the outside. We'll have 1 plus negative 3 times negative x plus negative 3, negative 4 over 2 factorial negative x squared plus negative 3 times negative 4 times negative 5 over 3 factorial. That is not a factorial. There we go. Negative x cubed. And this ends up just simplifying to 2, 1 plus 3x plus 6x squared plus 20 double plus 10x cubed, which is just equal to 2 plus 6x plus 12x squared plus 20x cubed. That is our answer. You know, I'm in a good mood today. I'm actually able to do this without wanting to end myself. So we're going to switch over to red since I'm feeling happy. I like switching colors sometimes. Wait, I can change like the... Wait, what? What's the difference? Whoa. Okay, we'll just use this. Alright. 2 is asking us to find the first 4 terms in each of the expansions where the absolute value of x is less than 1/10. Okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get started. It first gets us 1 plus 2x. That I didn't put a 1 in there. Okay. And we all know this is just going to be equal to 1 plus 2x to the 1/2. And using our definition from earlier, we can rewrite this as 1 plus 1/2 times 2x. Oh, I like this ballpoint pen. Plus, it'll be 1/2. 1/2 minus 1, which is negative 1/2, over 2 factorial 2x squared. And it said up to 4 terms. Did it say 4 terms? The first 4 terms. Okay. As we said earlier, the first 4 terms are just up till x cubed. Oh, this is going to be 1/2, negative 1/2, negative 3 over 2. So that's negative 1/2 minus 1 over 3 Jeez, this ballpoint pen is, I don't know what kind of setting that was, but it's great. Alright, dot. This is going to end up just simplifying to 1 plus x minus 1/2 x squared plus 1/2 x cubed. That is our answer. 2b, we have 1 plus x to the 3 over 2. Okay, we can rewrite this as 1 plus 3/2 x plus 3/2, and then 3/2 minus 1, which is equal to 1/2, over 2 factorial x squared. Did I do something wrong? No. Plus 3 over 2, 1/2, and then 1/2 minus 1/2 again, negative 1/2. So now, unfortunately, we're going to have a negative number in here, times x cubed. And this all simplifies to 1 plus 3 over 2x plus 3x squared over 8 minus x cubed over 16. That is our answer. This is the first 4 terms. Reminder. Okay. Onward. 2c. You know, I was thinking to myself, if this exercise is this easy, I wonder how, next exercise is going to be in Unit 2. And then I remembered that Unit 2 starts talking about like function shenanigans. I'll admit it's easier than this one, but it's still, not fun to do, especially with all those graphics. I think it starts to get into domains and whatnot, which can be confusing at times, I'll admit, but hopefully my videos help. That's supposed to be a negative 1/2. I'm creating this channel just like so I can get my torchbearer done, but I do really want to help people that struggle with this, especially people from my school. The issue is, will anybody realistically watch this? Like, sometimes I'm just talking to myself while doing this. There's some videos where I wouldn't recommend watching them unless you just need to find the solutions and whatnot, which is probably what most people end up actually doing. Okay, divided by 3 factorial, negative 3x cubed. And I'm going to say this again. Remember, this is just stemming from our definition from earlier all the way from here. This little thing. Okay, scrolling back. This is going to simplify to 1 plus 3 divided by 2x plus 27 divided by 8x squared. I need to talk louder sometimes. Whenever I listen back to my videos, I feel like I'm always whispering. X cubed dot dot dot. Okay, on to 2D. Okay, 2D, we're going to be multiplying a 2 out of all of this. Okay. I'm just going to put the 2 out here for now. And we're going to do brackets since I want to use parentheses on the inside. So we'll have 1 plus 1 divided by 3 x plus 1 over 3 negative 2 over 3 2 factorial x squared, and then our final term 1 over 3 negative 2 over 3 negative 5 over 3 3 factorial x cubed, and all of this simplifies out to 2 parenthesis 1 plus 1 over 3x minus 1 over 9 x squared plus 5 over 81 x cubed, which is then equal to 2 plus 2 over 3 x minus 2 over 9 x squared plus 10, yeah, 10 over 81 x cubed. All right. Okay, number 3 is asking us about a proof now. It's telling us to show that the square roots of 1 minus x divided by 1 plus x is equal to 1 minus x plus x squared divided by 2 minus x cubed divided by 2. Okay, that's actually only the first 4 terms, so we know that these are all just going to go to the first 4 terms. We can rewrite this equation over here as yeah, we can rewrite it as separate radicals which means we can rewrite it like this times 1 divided by square root of 1 plus x, and from there we can create 2 binomial expansions that are going to be equal to 1 minus x to the 1/2 times 1 plus x to the negative 1/2. Okay, this is going to be long, so stay with me. Let's first start with our left-hand binomial. So we'll have a bracket over here, 1. Is it pouring outside? What's that sound? Oh, it is raining. You know, I love the rain. Everyone always hates the rain. Especially when it's a bit gloomy outside. But I don't. I really do love the rain. A bunch. I don't get why everyone hates it. Well, I guess not everybody hates it. It's seen as a sad thing. I never understood why. It's just how the world works, though. Negative x squared plus 1/2 negative 1/2. I need to get a better chair. My back's starting to hurt at one. My back starts to hurt at a certain point. That's okay. That needs to be negative. Okay, that's our first binomial, and okay, so that's our 1 minus x, or square root 1 minus x, And our next one's going to be 1 plus x to the negative square root, which means that we can write it as 1 plus whoa, did I make that 1? Okay, no, I didn't. Negative 1/2 x plus negative 1/2 negative 3/2 2 factorial x squared plus negative 1/2 negative 3/2 negative 5/2 divided by 3 factorial x cubed. Okay, and then y'all are just gonna have to believe me on this, but this is going to be equal to 1 minus x divided by 2 minus x squared divided by 8 minus x cubed divided by 16 times 1 minus x divided by 2 plus 3 x squared divided by 8 minus 5 divided by 16. Oh, where's my x cubed? X cubed. That doesn't really look like an x cubed, but you get the idea. Okay, and then I think they actually want you to multiply this out. I mean, I don't see another way to actually show that it's going to equal this. We're trying to think of maybe how. Yeah, no, I think they just want you to end up multiplying all of this out. That's kind of mean. I'm not going to do that in this video for time's sake. But what I would do is just create a little box, you know. You know, like one of these boxes, then multiply everything, then add them all. I'm not going to do that. It's just basic algebra, but that'll take forever. And we know that's just going to equal to 1 minus x plus x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 2. Okay, I kind of feel bad for not doing it now, because in the 10 years from now, some kid's going to be like, no. It's okay, though. Alright, 4 is asking us to show that x divided by 1 plus x squared is equal to x minus 2x squared sorry, I had to check something. 2x squared plus 3x cubed minus 4x to the 4th plus dot dot dot, such that the absolute value of x is less than 1. Okay. Yeah, let me stretch. It's really late for me. I know it says 9:50 on there, but that's a lie. It's 12:50 a.m. for me right now. Okay, you know, this is just going to be equal to x, then 1 plus x to the negative 2. Thank God I just need to show this right hand side. So that means we can just have an x out here. I'll have these huge brackets of 1 plus negative 2 x plus negative 2, negative 3, 2 factorial, x squared. Since it only gave us up to, it gave us up to x to the 4th there. But the thing is, we don't really need to Oh, wait. Okay, it gave us up to x to the fourth there, and there's an x getting multiplied, so we only need to go up to x cubed on the right-hand side. Okay, that's good for us then. Okay, that's a 3. Okay, it's going to be 1 minus 2x plus 3x squared minus 4x cubed, which is equal to x minus 2x squared plus 3x cubed minus 4x to the fourth q e d dot dot dot, and look at that, match. Perfect. Number 5. I'm getting bored of red. Let's switch colors. What is this? No, that's ugly. Yo, these colors suck. Okay, dark blue it is. Find the first 4 terms in the binomial expansion. 2 minus 3x to the negative 3. Okay, and it gives us this little thing. Okay, unfortunately, the first term is not a 1 here, but I also learned something. We can actually make this first term, or this term right here, a 1 by doing some crazy things. And by some crazy things, I mean we basically just factor. To factor this, we're going to have to understand that, well, I have it in my notes somewhere. Okay, got it. To factor this, we're going to have to understand that 2 minus 3x to the negative 3 is the same as 2 to the negative 3 times 1 minus 3 divided by 2x to the negative 3. Okay, that's something we need to understand here, which means that this will end up becoming 1 divided by 8. 1 minus 3 over 2x to the negative 3. And basically all we did here is we factored out this 2 to the negative 3 from this equation, basically. That's all we did. We just factored it out from here, put it here, and then we're left with a 1 on the inside. Alright, from here we can just work on the right hand side. So we know this is going to be 1 divided by 8 times 1 plus, it said up to how many terms? First 4 terms? Okay. Negative 3 over 2x plus negative 3, negative 4, 2 factorial, negative 3 over 2x squared. I didn't include an x in there. And then our last term, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, 3 factorial, negative 3 divided by 2x to the cubed, which in turn is just going to be equal to 1 divided by 8, 1 plus 9 over 2x plus 27 over 2x squared plus 135 over 4x cubed, which means our final result is going to be 1/8 plus 9 over 16 squared plus 27 over 16. That's not an x squared. X squared plus 135 over 32x cubed. That is our answer. Okay, 6 is asking, or 6 has 3 parts. Part A asks us to find the first 4 terms of the binomial expansion square root of 1 minus 4x. Okay, we can set this equal to 1 minus 4x to the 1/2, which means that the rest of this is going to be equal to 1 plus 1 over 2 negative 4x plus 1 over 2 negative 1 over 2. Shoot, my headphones fell out for a second. 2 factorial negative 4x squared plus 1/2 negative 1/2 negative 3/2 over 3 factorial negative 4x cubed. And that's just going to end up equaling to 1 minus 2x minus 2x squared minus 4x cubed. 6b. What is 6b asking? Show that the exact value of square root of 1 minus 4x when x equals 1 over 100 is equal to 2 square root of 6 over 5. Okay, that's such a weird number. All we really need to do here is plug x equals 1 divided by 100 here. So we'll get square root of 1 minus 4, 1 divided by 100, which is equal to square root of 1 minus 4 over 100, which is then equal to the square root of 96 over 100, which in turn is going to be equal to square root of 16 times 6 over 10 times 10, which is equal to 4 times 4 over 10 times 10 times 6. We can leave that 6 in there and get a 4 divided by 10 times the square root of 6, which just simplifies to 2 times square root of 6 over 5. Okay, easy peasy. 6c, hence determine the square root of 6 to 5 decimal places. Okay, well, we can just write the square root of 6 equal to our little thing from earlier divided by 4 divided by 10. Well, sorry, 5 divided by 10. And when you're dividing by, actually, okay, we'll just start it up from what we had over here. Okay, remember that we showed that this was equal to the square root of 1 minus 4, 1 over 100. That means that the square root of 6 is going to be equal to 5 divided by 2, since we're divided by 2 divided by 5, over 1 minus 4, 1 over 100. And looking at the right hand side, that's just going to be equal to 5 divided by 2 times where'd it go wrong? Times oh, okay, got it. We have to make this into the combination, this little thing right here. We're gonna have to make that into 1 minus 4 over 1 over 100 to the 1/2, which means that we're just gonna get 1 plus 1/2 negative 4 over 100 plus 1/2 negative 1/2 over 2 squared, then negative 4 over 100 squared plus 1/2 negative 1/2 negative 3 over 2, 3 cubed, 3 factorial, negative 4 over 100 cubed. So that means we'll have 1 minus, I think that'll be 2, and then we're just gonna factor out the 100th from here instead. Minus, this is, you're just gonna have to trust me on here, that this simplifies to 2 over 1 over 100 squared minus 4, 1 over 100 cubed, and so on. Now, I don't know how it actually wants us to go. I don't know how long it wants us to go for. I'm going to stop right here. And then from here, you're going to have to plug this into a calculator. And since it's at 5 decimal places, you'll end up getting 2.44949. And that is our final answer. 4/6. Okay. 7 is split into 2 parts, and this, I think, is our last question. Yep. It's asking it to find the first 3 terms of the binomial expansion 1 divided by the square root of 1 minus 2x. Okay. Just doing what we did earlier. We know it's going to be equal to 1 times 1 minus 2x, 1 divided, or negative 1 divided by 2. And according to our rules, we're just going to have 1 on the outside, so we don't even have to worry about that. We'll have 1 plus negative 1/2 negative 2x plus negative 1/2 negative 3 over 2, 2 factorial, negative 2x squared. Did it say how many? First 3 terms? Okay, that works for me. 3 factorial 2x cubed. And once you simplify everything, you should get 1 plus x plus 3x squared over 2 plus 5x cubed over 2. That is our answer. On to 7b. Last question of the day. Hence or otherwise, obtain the expansion. Jeez. 2 plus... in what world would we be doing hence in this? Like, I guess for the bottom one. Up to and including the term in x cubed. Oh my god. Okay. Well, shucks. Okay. This is just going to be equal to 2 plus 2 plus 3x cubed times this shenanigan, but we already figured out that's going to be equal to that. So 1 plus x plus 3 divided by 2x squared plus 5 divided by 2x cubed. So all we need to do is actually solve for our left-hand side. And expanding this out, here we're just going to use Pascal's triangle to solve this. Remember that for any term that's going to look like this, it's going to be equal to a cubed plus 3a squared b plus 3ab squared plus b cubed. So we'll have 2 cubed plus 3, 2 squared, 3x plus 3, 2. You know, I remember ways I can do stuff like mid-math 2 questions later, and then I think to myself, oh yeah, maybe I should have done it that way. But yeah, Pascal's triangle can just be used here. And once again, I really do not know how the book wants you to actually like solve this. I don't know if they want you to just like factor the entire thing out basically and just screw yourself while you're solving this. Like, I'm trying to think of any way here where you wouldn't just end up, you know, making the box method and factoring it out. Yeah, I think they literally just want you to multiply it, and that's rough. Okay, I'll show it since it's the last problem. I'll show how you'll end up multiplying this. We'll have an 8 here plus 4 times 3, which is... Let me get a calculator out before I like mess up on myself. We'll have 3 times 4, which is 36x plus... Wait. That square should be on the outside. Plus 6 times 9 is equal to 54 x squared plus 27 x cubed. Then we do our little box right here, and we have 1 plus x plus 3 divided by 2x squared plus 5 divided by 2x cubed. And then, is there a line method on here? Shapes. No, come on, I don't need it. Like a huge explanation. Maybe this? That is like really pointless, God. Whoa, 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 why is it so big? Okay. Whatever, we'll just separate it like this. Okay, unless I did my math wrong, this should all work out in the end. So we'll have 8x, 8, 16, 24 divided by 2 is 12x squared. 8 times 5 is 40 divided by 2 is 20x cubed. You have 36x squared. Let's see, 36 divided by, or times 3 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 54x cubed. Something went wrong. I have no clue what went wrong. Oh, never mind. Okay. It just wants up to x cubed. And since these two numbers multiplied aren't going to give us x cubed, they're going to give us x4, so we can ignore that. That means that any of these bigger numbers that are multiplied that give us that give us over x cubed can also be disconsidered from this. So then that leaves us with 54x squared, 54x cubed, and then 27x cubed. Okay, in the end, this is going to equal to 8 plus 44x, and it looks like my math is actually right. Let's go. Plus 54 plus 36, which is equal to 100. Whoa, no, it's not. 90. Okay, 102 x squared plus these little shenanigans 155 x cubed, and that is our answer. Yep. Okay. Wow, I think this was my favorite exercise by like far. Did it all right. I didn't make a single mistake. Either this is easy or this is my subject. Binomial theorem is my thing. Who knows? But yeah, that's going to be all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all on Unit 2.